next character is a very interesting character, Jia. So we've seen this character or this component for roof. The thing on the right hand is actually a pig. Shi. Now that's not what pigs are called in modern Chinese, but that's what that means. Originally it would have been something like this, and I don't have a depiction of it here to show you, but it would have been a big eyeball, the legs, and the tail here. So that would be simplified into something like that. Why is family or house a pig under a roof? Because it indicates the nurturing or the care, the domestication of things. So it has more to do with husbandry, like a farmer, like caring for things, nurturing, than it does your little brother. Although your home is where your little brother, the pig, lives. You can think of it that way. So the top, a dian, hung go, hung pie, one, go, pie, na. You'll notice all of these diagonal lines. That's because they wouldn't draw the animals this way because they were riding on bamboo strips. So to make them narrower, they would turn them sideways. They also wrote vertically. Okay, jia. We've already seen the next one in Thai. So if you remember, we've got ren, person. Da is great. Tai is too much. So here we have da. Hung, pie, na. The next one, cong, is just a depiction of two people, one after another. Now the traditional character maybe takes a little bit more explanation. The traditional character has two people together, shuangren pong, which means doubled person radical. Then you have the two people on the top again, which this is really actually a very ancient form, but it's doubled here, and then a unusual component for foot underneath it, cong. So to write the traditional character, pie, na, cong. The next character students often write incorrectly. It's made of two components. This is one form of the outside component, cai. We'll come back to that in a minute. The other component is tu, which means earth. And it was one of the characters that derived out of this original form, which is the sprout coming up out of the earth. So we've seen in sheng, life or birth coming up out of the earth. We've seen qing, which actually means green, the color of things coming up out of the earth. In this case, we indicate what the plant came up out of, the earth. So this is tu, meaning earth, the location, the place of something. Now the cai is just phonetic, and you'll see that the stroke here the strokes have been moved in an interesting way so this can fit underneath it. So when you write zai, you need to remember you've got this shu on the left side. Hung, pie, shu. Hung, shu. Hung, zai, to be at a location. Zai. The next character, si, the number 4. If you remember, ba, the number 8, is an indication of division, of splitting something, two things split apart. In this case, the something is indicated by box, shu, hung, ja. And then we go pie, and it's usually written with a shu, one, and then you fill in the box. Hang, si. So an even number, all of the even numbers are symmetrical more or less, and most of them have the ba form in them. This character, ba, father or dad. The top part also means father, fu, which was anciently a depiction of a hand holding a flame. So like a candle, an offering to the ancestral father or patriarch, eventually came to be written like that, fu. So that's the significant on the top. The part on the bottom, ba, is phonetic, and it is a depiction of a city gate again. So you've got a gate tower. The gate would be like this, these huge gates that would keep the city safe. These would be enormous. And then the tower built to protect it. And then the wall along here. So ba is just phonetic. Pie, dien, pie, na, hung, je, shu, hung, shu, wan, go, ba. Ma is the female radical because it's your mother. She is a female. And then ma is the phonetic horse. Nothing rude about your mother. It's just phonetic. Ma, the horse, we can see the depiction of this is the traditional character, the mane, the shape of the horse, I suppose, and its legs, ma. So when we write it out, you do the pie, dien first, then the pie, hung, and then the hung, ja, shu, ja, ja, go, hung, ma. The next character, jie, sister, is the female radical again, and then the right-hand side is phonetic, jie. Anciently, it's thought that this is a depiction of some sacrificial altar or implement, like a stand. But I think of it as a closet, an empty closet, because her little sister has borrowed all the clothes. Pie, dien, pie, hung, shu, hung, ja, hung, hung, and then the hung across the bottom, hung. Notice that this one is longer than this shape here. Jie, elder sister. The next one, zuo. We have the ren zipang, the person radical, and then the left-hand side is za, ja, which is phonetic. And I do not recall what that comes from, if it's even known. I think there's some speculation. So we have the ren zipang here. And then we do the next pie, hung, shu, hung, hung, zuo. There are two common characters that are pronounced just the same and that have somewhat related meanings. Zuo is usually writing, to make something that is written or to do work that to do work as a suffix. Zuo, gongzuo. The next character, male. This is composed of two components. This is a character that means field, tian, and then this character means strength or effort, li. And again, that is a depiction of, an ancient depiction of a hand plow or a digging stick or a hoe. So the effort would be expended li in the field. That's what the male would do, the one that would expend his effort in the fields. Shu, hung, ja, hung, shu, hung, and then we do hung, ja, go, pie, nan, male. The next character, mei, often used with yo, mayo, but mei is a word in its own. It means to not have happened. There is not, there was not, there are not. We've got the water radical again, the splashy form of water, which anciently was like this. San dian shui, 3 drops of water, er san dian shui. And then the right-hand side is just phonetic. You've got a funky form of ba, 8, and then the right hand. And it's never occurred to me why that is phonetic. This character on its own, mei, can be pronounced mo, which means to sink or submerge. That's why it has the water radical. So that which is sunk is gone. Sandian. When you do the Sandian shui, the 2 at the top are a little bit closer. The one at the bottom is a T going upwards. And then in simplified form, the top part looks like this, and then the bottom part, yo. Mei. The next character is a measure word for carts or cars, and it contains the character for a cart or a car. Cha. Traditional characters, it's written like this, which is a depiction of the body of a cart or a chariot and the wheels on an axle. Cha. This is a simplified form, and we have seen this, liang, the phonetic component, we have seen already for 2 of an amount, a depiction of something being weighed in the balance, sort of. Okay, so we write that out. When you write cha in the simplified form, you want to get the stroke order correct. Hung, and then you go pie, ja, like that, connect those. Shu, hung, and then the phonetic, hung, shu, hung, ja, go, pie, dian, liang, liang, cha, liang. So now we have cha proper. This is the cha and the traditional character cha. Sometimes in the very old forms, you'd actually see a depiction of the oxen or the horses, and even the trace that would pull it. Very interesting character in its own right. Cha, remember again, hung, pie, ja, shu, hung, cha. The next character, jur, this is a character that's borrowed for its sound. Jur is a measure word for animals. In traditional characters, you use this as a measure word for animals, pronounced the same way. Jur, it's got the jue on top of a yo. This character, jur, is also means only or only as much as, borrowed for this purpose. It depicts 2 small things coming out of a mouth. Someone only spoke 2 small words. Zhi, so we got mouth, kou, Shu, hung, zhe, hung, dian, dian. Eager. Next character, go. There is this component, this radical on the left side, which is a depiction of the ancient form of the word for a dog, which in really old Chinese, oh no, I'm trying to remember it, it looks something like this. So that's sort of like a dog. Quan. And this is a very common radical for animals. The right-hand side is pronounced ju, in this case it means sentence or a phrase, but in this case it's just phonetic. Ju, go. So we start with a pie, and then notice we're dealing with multiple diagonals again. Pie, one, go, and then another pie through it. And then another pie, hung, ja, go, and then the mouth in the middle. Ko. Go. The next character, I'm going to show you the traditional character first. I, to love. The top part is just a different form of a hand. I'll go over that again. This part is a roof. Now in the traditional character you write a heart under the roof, then a stroke extending down, and a right hand. So hand, roof, heart, hand again. Oh, excuse me, this bottom part I want to talk about. Zhi is a downward pointed foot. So it kind of indicates where you have placed your heart to love someone. Okay. In traditional characters, simplified characters, you keep the hand on top and the cover, but at the bottom you just write friend, yo, which is two hands joined together. So that's just as significant, I think. Actually, the original meaning they think meant to walk slowly, and so it just borrowed for the sound. One thing I want to point out here is that this can be a hand. So anciently it might have been written like this. It sort of depicts the fingers sort of like a claw or to grab or grasp something. So here we go. Pie, dien, 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 hung, go, and then hung, pie, hung, pie, na, I. End of lesson 6.